Hello, Shrewdness. Welcome to our Kansas City Royals update. So, if you listen to our other episodes covering all the sports, hitting all the playoffs and everything, not this one. This one's just for you Kansas City Royals fans. So, we're going to be hitting what happened in the last week since our last update. Have we been winning? Have we been losing? If you've been underneath a rock, we're going to let you know all that. We're going to give you a scoop. We're going to tell you what's going on with our pitching, our hitting, our minor leagues, and what to look forward to for the next games. So specifically this weekend, we got some Cardinals baseball coming up, I believe, next weekend, right? We're doing the
I think
bobblehead.
it's the weekend after next. Yeah, we got all the
That'll be
bobblehead
fun.
stuff.
So without further ado, we're going to turn this thing over to Chisholm to get us started on that. And then Prue's going to throw in some insights, some local knowledge in the games. We'll go from there. So, all right, Chiz, over to you.
Beautiful. Well, if you're wondering how our beloved Royals are doing, well, let's see. Last week at this time, we were not feeling very good because we were in the midst of a losing streak, which ended up being a 6-game losing streak. But fear not, because the Rockies came into town.
Yes, the Get
When
Right
the Rockies
team.
came into town, the Get Right Rockies led us to a 6-game winning streak. So we lost 6, then we won 6, and then we went kind of middle. So now we're sitting after tonight's 3-1 victory versus the Rays at 15-15, right where we started. It's just like a brand new season. And if you're thinking like, what's going on with the Royals? Well, this team has an identity now, whether you like it or not. The team identity is the pitching is really good. The starting pitching in particular. The Royals actually lead the league in most innings per start. So we are number 1 in the major leagues in innings per start because our starting pitching is really good. The bats are not there. And they're not like, hey, I'll give some props. Salvy's bat woke up during the doubleheader against the Rockies. So he had a really nice day. He had a really nice night tonight. So there's some signs of life from Salvy's bat, which we need. We got to have Salvy. We got to have an active Salvy. Bobby's consistent. He's got his 20-game hit streak. If you listen to our other episode, you know we talked about it. He is Bobby baseball, and man, he's as advertised. The dude just does not stop. He never takes a game off, and he's fun to watch. So he's got a big hitting streak. They've made some moves, one of which was MJ Melendez being sent down.
The right move, because then we brought Drew Waters up, and Drew Waters is doing great.
Drew Waters, I gotta say, he has had multiple chances, and I'm kind of like, I don't think it's gonna happen. But I'll give the guy props because if you look at Drew Waters and what he's done since he's come up, including tonight's game, he is the second best hitter on the team.
Yeah, it's like 280 something, right?
Right.
No.
He's hitting 283. He's hitting 283. And the extent of the offense is Bobby Witt Jr. at 317, Drew Waters at 283, and Miguel Garcia at 273. Everyone else is below 240.
I know, but last week we said they're below 210. So
Team
you're right. They have brought it up. They
Yeah.
have brought it up.
Team average for the first 3 weeks was 210, and now in a week's time they've raised it to 225. So
I mean, Salvy's at 225 now. Salvy was well below 200 last week. India is above 200 now. He's at 216, so he's coming to life as well. The only guys that are still struggling and not showing any signs of life, Massey, very disappointing, 188.
Yep.
Tino is still not hitting at 174. We're all rooting for the pass watch. And then the good news is with Renfroe is we've basically just said you're not playing anymore. He's just not getting any at-bats because he was not getting any better. So, you know, there are some signs of life. I'm encouraged by Waters. I'm encouraged by Salvy. You know, Isbell is what Isbell is. He's 225, and he's always going to be 225. So we should be happy with that, right?
That's called season norms.
He's up to 235 right now.
He's
on a little bit of a heater.
He's on a heater. Couple more bunt singles in there to up that average to 235.
Yep. Keep that slugging low.
Right. Yes. The OPS for Isbell is 554. So that tells you what you need to know there. But I got to say, there is some signs of life. Now, the things that's really encouraging, they've shored up the bullpen. They seem to have figured out that, you know, everybody's got a role now. It's real clear. Ersig's going to be the 8th inning guy. He's got a .79 ERA and even lower whip.
Why this wasn't the thing anyway. I mean, he was your closer last year, and then you brought in Estevez. So, of course, why would he not be the 8th automatically? So to have to figure that out was kind of annoying.
Yeah. So he's an 8th inning guy. Estevez, who after that one bad outing has looked really good. He's got 8 saves now, and he's got a 2.57 ERA.
Look that up. I was gonna look at his.
They don't have a consistent 7th inning guy. They've been mixing in Zerpa, who's done better. I'm not a huge Zerpa fan, but he's done better in the last week. He hasn't had
Thought
any
it'd be
implosions.
Hunter Harvey though.
He's still hurt. So when Harvey gets back, he could be that guy.
Yeah.
Harvey could be that guy. I could definitely see him being that guy when he gets back. And they really need that guy as a lockdown guy. I think they've wanted so bad for it to be a lefty. They want to have a lefty in the mix that they've forced. I feel like they've forced Zerpa. I don't feel like, he's quite as talented as they think he is. And that is has caused some challenges in some late games. And if they don't get rid soon of Stratton, I'm going to explode. He is really not a good pitcher. And they keep trying him, and I'm like, don't do it. And they do it. And
gonna
they're
end
like,
badly.
Well, all of his, if you look at all the underlying stats, it looks like he should be much better. He's not good. Okay. He's just not good anymore. So we've got plenty of guys in the minors that have arms. Let's use them. Let's see how that works. But they are getting better, and that is a super positive thing. Which finally got touched up a little bit in an outing, but even with that, he's still sitting at a 2.25 ERA with a 1.14 WHIP. That's really good out of a 5-star. That's ridiculously good. Lugo's 3.08. Waka's 3.38, and Lorenzen, after tonight's win, is 3.48. You know who the highest ERA on the team is?
Reagan's.
So Ace Cole Reagan's. Now that said, out of the starters. Now, that's not that Cole Reagan's is bad, right? He's got a 1.17 WHIP. He struck out 46 batters in 30 innings. That's decent. His last start, if anybody watched it, he was pulled after just a few innings because he had groin tightness. Yeah. And they saw something they didn't like. He's going to miss the next start.
Yes.
But they don't think he's going to go on the IL.
Apparently,
the good news about that
this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, they're planning on a pitch this weekend. The good news about that is one of our boys from the minors and a local boy from St. Joe, Missouri, Noah Cameron, is going to be coming up and making a start tomorrow night. He's had a really great start at AAA. I'm super excited to see him. A guy we had some high hopes for and I think could play a role on this team sooner rather than later. Is going to get a shot. So that's really cool. And a Major League debut. That's always fun to see the Major League debuts tomorrow night.
It is. So in his 5 games in AAA, he's had a 3.22 ERA after a very good AA season last year. So he's earned his way up here. It's not just, it's the rotation works. It's like, nope. It works, but it's also he's our number 5 prospect overall. I think top pitching prospect, right?
Yeah.
And he's a lefty too, so that's kind of nice. We'll see what he does. So we still get the lefty even though Cole's out. So good luck. Let's go Noah Cameron tomorrow. Let's see what you do, buddy. Have fun. Go 5. Don't give up anything. Let's go.
Right. I mean, overall, since Sam Long has been on the injured list, which is a good thing.
Thank goodness.
And they made some other changes. They've really had a solid bullpen. So Schreiber's at 2.13 ERA. Stratton's at 9. He needs to go away. He's the one that is still the thorn in my side. The Steven Cruz dude has come in for 7 games. He's pitched 6 2/3, and he's got hasn't allowed a run. I like him a lot. Evan Sisk is another guy that they've brought up, pitched a couple innings, and Jonathan Bolin, who is a highly touted prospect, got called back up and finished out a game the other night. So the pitching staff is great. The question is, will they have the hitting to do it? We'll talk a little bit about the minors, but one of the interesting things that they have done recently is one Jack Caglione.
Yeah.
Jack Caglione got starts this this week in right field. So,
go. I like it.
I love it.
I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do, but I think they're saying we don't have any corner outfielders with any pop, and there's not really a path to the majors at first and DH right now for you. So is there a way we could get you in the lineup? I'm not saying they're going to do it anytime soon, but maybe towards the end of the year, if they're still in the pennant race and they've got a shot, how fun would it be to get a shot in the arm of Jack? Have a little Jack.
Yeah,
and watch that ball
A
fly.
shot of Jack.
If he just pounds his way into the team, though, I don't have a problem with that either.
I don't either.
I like drafting college bats for this exact reason. They're ready sooner. They're ready faster. Let's go, man. I have no problem with it. If I just want to be ready, right? So I don't want to be too early. But it's so on a similar path. So Nick Kurtz is the Athletic. So I know we're a Royals podcast, but I wanted to touch on this because it goes to the Jack Caglianone. So Nick Kurtz, first baseman, 22 years old. After 20 games of playing, the Athletics have called him up because Athletics are actually doing pretty well. They're not doing that bad.
Yeah.
But he had a 321, 385, 1040 line with 7 homers and 24 RBIs. And that was all the Athletics need to see to call up their guy. So it's not without precedent, especially this early. There's been quite a few top prospects already called up for a lot of teams across the majors. Royals are in desperate need of power, of homers, of run production.
Big time.
We just can't keep going the way we're going. I mean, yeah, we're middling. That's what 15 and 15 looks like. It's called middling for a reason. Jack Caglianone could be someone that pushes that needle to the right. If you get an extra couple runs a week, man, that can change some games. That could change the season. So if he's earned it, I don't care if he comes up earlier. I'm kind of on that train. Because why not have more at-bats here if he's ready than just kind of wasting him down there? Because there's no roadblocks. There are no roadblocks here in Kansas City for Jack. In my opinion, no real.
No, there's nobody who has the kind of power that he has. He at Double-A, he's got 4 home runs, 6 doubles. He is OPS is 854. He strikes out a little bit too much. Not surprising out of a rookie, but he's got 11 walks and 24 Ks. That's not horrid for a rookie, and for a power guy, that's not horrid either. So I could definitely see him continuing to hit. The thing that I'm struck by, and I find myself watching a lot of Northwest Arkansas. I switch over at night. I'm sitting on the back porch, smoking my cigar, watching the Royals game, and then I'm tracking on my phone, and I'm like, ooh, Jack's coming up next inning. I want to put it over there. And, the dude just smokes the ball. And it doesn't matter if he gets out, he smokes the ball. So that is really fun to watch. Another thing to note, we got our old friend Nick Lofton called up today. Nick Lofton got called back up. He's just it's that P word, Dex, potential. Every time you get a guy that's potential, it's like he was drafted so high and he hits so well in the minors, and you're like, oh my gosh, maybe this guy can do it.
This time
he's not going to be up for long. It's not going to be up for long because Tony Tolbert's on bereavement leave. That's why he got in. So I mean, he could, I suppose, do something wonderful, hit his way and stay, and Tolbert could go back down. But
yeah, that's what's going to happen.
He's probably just going to be one of these up and downs all year. But it would be nice if we could have, because Lofton is a guy who could be your second baseman, particularly as Massey's not hitting the ball at all right now.
You know what I see Nick Lofton as? Is the Charlie Brown football. He's loosey, holding it down. Like, this time, I promise I'm going to be good.
No, really, guys,
You're just going to pull it up again and suck, Nick Lofton. No, not this time. I promise he's going to be really good this time. Look how good he did. All right, fine. Here we're going to go. We're going to get the football pulled out from underneath us. We're going to fall on our head again.
Football to the moon, Dex.
Yeah.
It's so true, man.
I can't wait. Please prove me wrong.
It's gonna happen.
Drew Waters has proven us all wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
saying
Nick
Drew Waters
Lofton,
is quad A.
Here's the upside. Nick Lofton in Omaha this year. 85 OBP, 938 OPS. I mean,
well, he's earned his shot back up.
That just screams I'm gonna rule in major leagues, doesn't it?
Here's my football. Lucy, hang on to this one.
Totally.
Yeah, I was flipping through the Royals season stats, and I came across something that is probably not going to get talked about a lot, but I'm going to bring it up. We at the Shrewdness like to uncover.
Do it. Bring it up.
Interesting stats that I think really are contributing to their success lately. The Royals' 5 starters after tonight have pitched about 170 innings.
Okay.
Guess how many stolen bases they have given up as a starting 5?
This is great. This is a great stat. I'm going to go... So how many innings?
170.
170. I'm going to say they've given up...
20.
10.
Both very good guesses. I would have guessed probably in the 10 to 15 range. 3 is the answer.
That doesn't seem possible.
And they've had 2 runners thrown out. So 5 total
Wow.
attempts in 170 innings.
Is
So
this
that
for
is
mean or the
that's-
starters doing it?
that is well, it's both,
That's
I think.
impressive.
But
That's
it's
amazing.
mad respect for Fermin and Salvi.
for
And
sure.
And then the pitcher's doing a good job of
Holding
limiting runners, number one, but also keeping
for
them.
sure.
Yeah, that's probably a lot of it.
Well, I mean,
If there's no one
the-
on
yeah,
first to steal, that helps.
Yeah.
that's
But
exactly right. The whip's
5
so low
attempts. 5 attempts
that's
total
insane.
in 170 innings.
That's a
And
month
even,
of
like he
games.
was-
and then what's the new guy? Evan Sisk? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the only guy in the bullpen that's given up stolen bases, and
Wow.
he's given up
Really?
3. He's given up 3 by himself. So they must
He
have
ain't
figured
checking
something
the
out with
runner.
him.
I'm here to strike people
Yeah.
out.
The Royals as a team have given up 6 stolen bases all year,
That's crazy.
That's wild.
which is a big contributor. Like that's
For sure.
a weapon. If you
That's a free base, right? I mean, think about how
Right.
many extra bases you're limiting there.
yeah.
and you got Pete Crow Armstrong, by himself has twice as many as the
12.
Royals' entire
Right.
team have allowed.
Has allowed, right?
Wow, that's
that
great.
almost makes up for the fact that we only have how many home runs, Pruitt, as a team?
Yeah,
18, something like that.
It's probably as many stolen bases as we allowed.
it was
Yeah.
something. I looked
It
it up,
is
and
pretty
it's
bad when your leader is Pasquatch with 3,
Yeah.
and then
Bobby has 2.
he's hitting $170, and then
Yeah.
you go to Bobby, and like Salvi hasn't hit any, which is
No.
really weird.
But
Yeah.
Eugenio
Like,
Suarez
I mean,
hit
he's-
4 in a game.
Right?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Everything makes sense in
So-
MLB. That's how it
Yeah, it
It'll
totally
all
doesn't
average
make
out.
sense.
It
It'll all
is.
It will.
average out.
The fun part.
But I am excited to see Noah Cameron, his debut tomorrow night. That'll be fun. Maybe we can get the bats going, because honestly, if we can get the bats just average, if we could score 4 or 5 runs a game, we're gonna win. I mean, we're winning a lot of games. Winning, like we won 3-1 tonight.
Yep.
That
Another
is
Lorenzen, good start, like you said. I mean,
great. Lorenzen start. Like the starting staff is ridiculous, and the sad part is if you think about if we had Brady Singer and his stats on this, I don't know where you put Brady Singer at this point, but like you throw him into this mix, if he would have been around, holy crap, nobody be scoring at all.
yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see this week coming up. So we have the rest of the series with Tampa in George Steinbrenner. 13 home runs as a team in April. That is disgusting.
Ugh.
Oh my god. I threw up in my mouth a little when you put that
Cal
on the
Raleigh
screen.
almost hit more home runs.
Cal
than the
Raleigh
Royals.
has
He
10
almost
by
hit
himself.
more than the whole team. So we're at George Steinbrenner Field, which the Royals announcers told me proudly that Tampa Bay, it seats 11,000, and they've almost sold out every game. Not half, they've almost. So they can't sell 11,000 tickets.
It's actually probably a more fun atmosphere when you get your almost sold out crowd at
absolutely
an
right.
11,000 stadium instead of a 44,000 stadium
I
that never
promise
sold
it
out.
is.
It still brought
I
9,000
promise
people.
it is. So they're at Tampa, then they go up to Baltimore for 3 games. Baltimore's struggling. It's a good time
They
to
are.
get them.
Yeah.
It is.
And then we get a 4-banger against the White Sox to start off next week.
Oh,
So
thank goodness.
it's a good chance to make some ground up here if they could get a little hot. So hopefully they will.
That'd be
Did
good.
themselves
So-
a big disservice by losing so many to Detroit. That really hurt.
Oh,
Put-
3 of
putting them
4.
behind.
And that
Yeah.
was unnecessary,
Now
man.
that we got Scooble's number, though, I'm ready for him next time. But what do we got down on the
Unnecessary.
farm coming? Besides, we touched on a couple. I mean, Noah Cameron's coming up. Jack's playing a different position. Anybody else standing out? I know we want to talk about Asbel.
Of course, we got to talk about Asbel, but before we do that, let's see what else we got to bring up. So, my favorite second baseman got called up to AAA because Nick Lofton got called up, but
Peyton.
Peyton Wilson got called up. He is not cooled down. I mean, he is what he is. He's not a power guy. You're not going to get power out of Peyton. But if you look at, he's a second baseman, right? And if you look at what he's done year to date, Peyton is, where is he? Oh, that's the problem. I was looking at home runs. He's not a home run guy.
I know, wrong category.
That's the
Go to
oops, I
slap
sorted
buns.
incorrectly, right? This is not going to slap.
Bunt
Hey,
singles.
hey, what do you mean? That's rude.
I know
That's
Peyton
just
Wilson's been thunder
disrespectful.
punching the ball in the
That's
gaps.
disrespectful. Peyton Wilson, 392 at Double A, 1194 OPS. He's got eight doubles, 4 triples, 2 homers, 19 RBIs. But this is the thing I like most about Peyton: 13 walks and 17 Ks. That's a pretty sweet little
that's a
ratio.
good ratio right there.
Dude is on fire. There's also a dude named Josh or Jordan Groshans.
Josh
I
or
haven't heard
Jordan.
much about Jordan Groshans. He's actually
Or
hitting,
Josh Groshans.
Yeah, that guy I've heard of. He's been back in my groceries.
Groshans bounced back and forth between AAA and AA, but he's having a really nice season, hitting over 300, and he's got some power to him. So he's a third baseman. I don't know anything about his defense. He may not be worth anything in defense, but he's done okay from a power standpoint. And then if you look at the pitching, I did see somebody week who was jumping out at me. Henry Williams. I don't know if you remember that name. But Henry Williams is 3-0 with a 2.35 ERA in 23 innings.
Prospect, or does he come from somewhere else?
And in 20, I'll tell you in just a second. I'm building intrigue. What I'm doing is building intrigue.
Building it up. Let's go.
He's in 23 innings. He's 3-0 this year. In 23 innings, he's walked 5, struck out 26 for a 104 WHIP. People are hitting 221 against him. Henry Williams was acquired by the Royals in the Scott Barlow trade a couple years ago.
So big one.
They traded Scott Barlow, who, if you remember, but you probably don't, because it was Scott Barlow. He was our de facto closer in 2023.
Yeah, he had some value at one point.
And we traded him for Henry Williams.
Many years
Henry
ago.
Henry Williams was a third-round draft pick for the Padres, and I was intrigued when we got him. I was like, hey, that's a good get for Barlow. And he's starting to come into his own. So a 2.35 ERA, it's significantly lower than he's been for the rest of his career. The rest of his career, he's been about 4 ERA guy. So he seems to be coming into his own. It's going to be really interesting to see how he progresses. And I think he's one to keep an eye on because it was a really good trade piece at the time. So I'm anxious to see how he does. But we have to talk about our favorite guy before we go too much farther. Asbel Gonzalez. Okay?
Asbel Gonzalez. Speedy.
Asbel Gonzalez. Speedy Gonzalez, if you will. So tonight, Asbel is 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 4 stolen bases. So he stole second and third, then second and third again. So he has now in 22 games, he has 29 stolen bases.
Whoa.
29 stolen bases.
That is
insane. The other thing that is just freaking ridiculous about him is, and I got to pull this stat up so I get
Dairon
it right.
Blanco's looking over his shoulder like, hang on.
Right?
That boy's fast.
That boy is fast. The other thing about Asbel is he's not just like a guy who's, he's not just all speed, but you got to look at his K rate is 7.7%. Okay.
Wow. Nice.
His walk rate is 13.3%.
That's high.
So he has almost twice as many walks as he does strikeouts. Which is insane.
Tell me more about Asbel Gonzalez.
Can he play field?
Right? He's hitting
second base probably.
Or in second base.
He's hitting 388 with a 495 OBP and 29 stolen bases in 22 games. So he's not on anybody's radar, but that's what's so fun about him. He's just fast as balls. And he's 19. So the fact that he's 19, okay. I'm like, okay, this dude, if he's already seeing the ball this well,
yeah,
you think that's only going to get better. And he's walking at a high rate, and he's, listen, he's never going to hit a home run. That's okay, though. In 380 at-bats, he's hit 1 home run. So he's not going to hit a home run. But
that's not his game, obviously.
Hitter.
Yeah.
He screams leadoff hitter. You're getting on that much. You're not striking out. You're making contact with the ball, and then you're chaos on the base paths when you get
and after you get a walk,
we're going to keep an eye on this guy.
You'll beat on third, and then all he needs is a ground ball or a sac fly to get you in.
Right?
That's pretty awesome.
I mean, we are keeping an eye on him, and right now he is at high, or he's a low A. He's a single A Columbia, but I think they're going to progress him. I think he's going to get an opportunity to move up pretty quickly because he's getting a lot of eyeballs. And I was listening to one of their games earlier this week, and they were actually talking about him and how he's raising eyeballs within the single A league.
Yeah,
the other guy I wanted to call out briefly is Frank Mazzucato. He is a guy who's a round 1 draft pick for the Royals. Frank Mazzucato, he's with Quad City. He's at High A. And this year, he started 4 games. He's got a 1.27 ERA and a .8 WHIP.
Nice.
So he's showing really well. He's a lefty. Big lefty. He's
nice.
only 21. They're planning on him being a starter. So I could see him moving up to AA pretty quickly too. So a couple interesting prospects that we got down in the minors right now.
Awesome.
But the only power is Jack, really. So I'd really like to see them develop some other guys with some power too.
Yeah.
That works. I like it.
I'll take a guy with 29 steals.
Exactly.
And before we go,
last update. I gotta hear how he's doing. How's Cousin doing?
I gotta say, Cousin Cronin, Matt Cronin, congrats to Matt because he got the call up to AAA this week. So he got promoted.
He's going to Tacoma. He's a Rainier
he's now the Tacoma Rainiers. And in his couple of appearances with the Tacoma Rainiers, he's gone in 2 games, 3 innings pitched. And he is not allowed to run, and his whip for the year is 113. So his whip's coming down. That's good. He's always had a little trouble with the walks, and his ERA for the year combined between single and AA is 0.82. So he's a 0.82 ERA. So
Nice.
Good start for Matty.
Yeah,
hopefully he'll keep
awesome.
killing at AAA, maybe get the call and get his shot for his first chance in the majors this year. Let's hope for it. Go, Matt!
That'd be awesome. Go, Matt. Go Rainiers.
That's right.
That
like
happens. You need to stake your claim on a spot on the Shrewdness.
Oh, he's coming on the Shrewdness.
Upcoming
without
episode. That'd be great.
We're gonna if he gets the call up, we're gonna have the exclusive for what it's like your first game up. We're gonna get the full detail on the first game up experience. Yeah.
Sweet.
For sure.
All right. I think it's going to wrap us up for this week's Royals update. Hope you enjoyed catching up on that. If you want to get more just kind of general sports knowledge, hit our other episode up. We talk about all the playoffs and kind of the NFL draft and be on the lookout. So speaking of NFL, we're going to put out a guillotine specific focus about the draft and its impacts on your upcoming guillotine drafts this summer. So we'll kind of talk about some of our favorite picks. They're going to good systems and good places and just kind of get you ready for that because basic guillotine season just started, baby. So that's what's going on. So anyway, follow, subscribe for all the Royal stuff and keep on checking it out. Prue, what else?
Along that guillotine note, we're going to go into a lot more detail, try to get more people to start guillotine leagues. So we're going to go through a little bit of a training and education series on what it's like to be in a guillotine league, what it's like to start one, maybe run one, and just why we like it. We're biased, of course, but Absolutely. We're going to try to talk you into becoming a guillotine football player, fantasy football player. So anyways, We'll go into a lot more depth this summer to prepare you for your drafts this fall or this late summer, I guess, August timeframe. But be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely. And forward to a friend. If you got a friend that's a Royals fan, Chiefs fan, Kansas City fan at all, forward to them. Let them have a listen. We'll always have fun with the local teams.
Faux show. All right. Until next time, you know what you got to do.
Stay true.
Stay true.